The Balearic island of Menorca is often overshadowed by its big brother, Mallorca. But rather than suffering the same fate of over-commercialization, it has managed to retain its age-old traditions and authentic ways of life. I will be travelling through Menorca, starting in the glamorous capital city of Mahon, where I will learn about the lasting British influence on the island. Juniper berry. I'll then travel to the rugged and historical interior, where I'll get to see firsthand how Menorca's traditional farming methods are still being kept alive. For this. And discover ruins and stories of ancient civilizations.
It's terrifying.
And finally, I'll end my journey in the historic city of Ciutadella, an architectural wonder. Feels like I've gone back in time with world-class cuisine and unspoilt beaches. I can't wait to just jump into this ocean. Follow me on my journey through Menorca as I uncover what makes it the true hidden gem of the Balearic Islands. For this part of my journey through Menorca, I've left the port city of Mahon and travelled to Menorca's rural interior, where I'll be staying in a traditional finca near the town of Migjorn Gran. This will be my base for exploring the relatively undiscovered interior of the island. I'm on my way to see one of the biggest caves here in Menorca. It's over 24 metres high and it's known as the Cathedral, and they say it was used as a burial site back in the Teleotic period. The Teleots were one of the oldest civilizations here in Menorca, and the history goes back over 2,000 years. The trail follows a well-marked path to the cave and is just under 2 kilometres from Migjorn Gran, passing through some of Menorca's most impressive scenery. To get to the caves, you have to come down this gorge. This is the gorge of Binigaus. So I've got these amazing, spectacular cliffs behind me, and they're part of this Binigaus gorge. It's just so nice to walk through here, and there's just so much beautiful nature around me. Stunning trees, amazing cliffs, and the sound of bird song, and I feel like it's hard to believe that I'm even in Menorca, because a lot of people, when they think about Menorca, they'll think about beaches and coves, but there's a whole rural side to Menorca that's really quite undiscovered. I'm in the cave and it's really, really impressive. Just looking up, just see how big the cave is. When excavation started here in 1914, some of the artifacts that were found actually indicate that the cave was used as a burial ground in the prehistoric times and that rituals may have occurred here. So there is definitely an eerie vibe about the cave.
It's terrifying.
After visiting the cave, I continued walking along the trail through lush, dense forest, and eventually I reached an opening where I could see the ocean in the distance. This is the beach of Binigaus, and it's an absolutely amazing beach with crystal clear waters. It was a perfect way to end this hike. On the walk from the finca to the town of Migjorn Gran, I came across several Teleotic ruins, and considering that they date back thousands of years, it's impressive how well preserved they are. There are more than 2,000 of these distinct structures dotted all over the island, making it the biggest open-air museum in the Mediterranean. I'm in the town of of Es Migjorn Gran, which is in the southern rural area of Menorca, and straight away I can feel a difference between the large town of Mahon and this small quaint town, which is a lot less touristy. And every time I go on holiday, I really love exploring smaller, more local towns and just getting a feel for a more authentic way of life. So it's pretty quiet at the moment. I think it's siesta time. I actually keep bumping into these really kind of quirky plant pots, but they've all got like a little face on them. So I'm not sure what the story behind that is, but I've actually seen that outside quite a few people's homes. These are sandals famous in Menorca here. They're called Abarca sandals, and they're something that's very much a part of the Menorcan history, and they're made here, but they're actually world famous and they're sold worldwide. You can tell that Menorcans are very proud of the Abarcan sandals. They kind of put them around as a decoration with flowers, and I've also seen them also hanging as well. So it's very pretty. After eating so much of the famous Menorcan cheese, I wanted to find out more about the traditional methods used to make it. So I decided to visit a farm in the countryside which produces and sells this delicious cheese. I met up with Ashley, who works at the South of Menorca farm, for a hands-on demonstration of the cheese-making process and a tour around the grounds. Just put on my outfit, so I'm about to go and do some cheese making and learn how to make the typical traditional Menorcan cheese. So here I am, kitted out. My feet as well. Just cover my head as well. Ashley showed me how the milk comes through from another room and is mixed with whey to initiate the cheese making process.
Oh, the fresh cheese.
Oh, wow.
And you can taste it if you want as well.
Oh, I can taste it.
Yeah. Now it doesn't have much flavor. It's just milk with the fermentation.
It's not like salty, like
No, exactly.
like typical cheese.
So then we pass it into the buckets. You're going to cover the bucket, and then you're going to flip it over like a castle on the beach. Oh, perfect. And now you take off the bucket, and you're on your way. Like this. And then if you want to, push on it.
Arms for this. Muscles. Very, very spongy.
You're going to take the string and wrap it around a few times, tight as possible. So now move this hand down, closer to the string, and then it's a bit easier as well. There you go.
I'm not sure that my calling in life is making cheese, but I'm trying my best. Did I do a good job? You're pretty tight. Porque eres un experto. El maestro de esto, por lo que veo.
Es que
ni siquiera puedo ver cómo está tan rápido.
In the winter, they can do up to 60 pieces a day. So
wow.
Then you're going to open it up like a flower.
After the cheese is wrapped, it is then pressed for around 6 hours before it's moved to the drying room for 2 weeks in preparation for the maturing process.
Cows are like women, so they're pregnant for 9 months and we take their milk for 10. So the last 2 months of the pregnancy, they're on vacation.
Oh wow.
So those ones are separate and these are the ones that we're milking every day. This is their food.
Their food, oh wow. The farm is situated in a truly idyllic setting, surrounded by picturesque countryside and mountains, and on the top of a hill sits the South of Menorca farm shop, where you can sample their delicious produce and admire the gorgeous view. So after all that hard work, I am now getting to try the cheese that we've made. That's so good. It's like salty, it's got a bit of acidity, very strong, but absolutely delicious. Menorca is built on tradition, so it's wonderful to seek out these kinds of experiences that sum up what a truly authentic place Menorca is. Next time, I'll be visiting the romantic historic city of Ciutadella, the architectural gem of the island. I'll be trying some of Menorca's traditional food. That's incredible. And venturing away from the crowds to explore some of the island's best beaches.